Namaste, and welcome back to Grow with the J.A.N family. Today, it's heartbreaking for us right now to watch the news and see the numbers in India. I don't know what happened, guys. Like, this is getting ridiculous.
I mean, they went from really low to second place, which is, like, mind-blowing.
And the numbers are skyrocketing so much, you're going to blow the U.S. away. And that's
Please
not
don't.
a good thing.
No.
I mean, over here, we've already lost over 500,000 people dead from this virus and millions that have it. Like, we knew this was going to happen, and we were so happy with the shutdown in India. There were so many things that were going really well, and now, I don't know, people are just thinking like, oh, things are back to normal. There's no normal anymore. There's no normal. This virus is here to stay, and we need to get some better medicines for it, but we need to keep these good practices. You cannot go outside your house without a mask.
Right.
You cannot, you have to wash your hands. You have to stay away from large crowds. If you don't have to go, if you can work online, work online. If you can do school virtually, do school virtually. You cannot take this lightly. This virus is here to stay, and you have to keep on it. Like, the numbers, it's just
it's devastating that how many people have died from it, and it's sad that we're not doing anything to fix it. So we need to put it back together where the numbers are going lower, because it spiked hard.
Yeah, it was doing okay there. It had some ups and downs, but now it's like skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And like here in the US, there wasn't enough oxygen tanks, there wasn't enough places to put bodies. I mean, it got really bad. The hospital had to turn people away. Like, it's happening in India, and it's frightening because you guys don't have the same facilities that we have here, the same hospitals, you have to pull it back together. If you have it, you need to stay home, and your entire family and anybody that has been near you in the last 2 weeks needs to quarantine themselves as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a joke. We do not want to see half of India's population die. This is serious. And people that are thinking like, oh, we can go and, it's back to work regular, we can go to festivals, we can go to rallies, we can, do whatever we want. If we want to wear a mask, we can, but if we have our shot, we don't really have to. No, this is not a joke, and we really need you guys to snap it back together. And I'm sure Modi is trying his best, but if you are not doing what is being asked, then you are part of the problem. If you're not wearing your mask and it's mandatory, you are part of the problem. It is not just about you. There are hundreds and thousands and billions of people in India. When you don't wear your mask, you're infecting everybody, whether you have it or not.
Right. Here's the other thing is the shot is a vaccine. It's not a cure.
Exactly. You have to assume, you should get your shot. You should be taking vitamins or eating healthy as best you can, fresh foods, and keeping the social distance. Namaste is probably the best thing in the world right now, that people are not shaking hands and getting too close to one another, but you have to stop the large gatherings. You have to do more stuff virtually, and you can't assume you have the shot that you're immune.
Right.
So this video is both about the political side of it and a little bit of the news side of it, and unfortunately the numbers side of it. So let's start it up. Yeah, our hearts are really broken. This is just so sad to see. Like, oxygen. Those bodies. We have people like this here. It's not just about you.
Once you get it on your family's gonna get it wherever you go to.
Yeah. Don't surpass the U.S.
No.
Yeah, I like that they assume all the festivals, the religious Hindu festivals, are to blame.
That's when it happened and there's no spike.
Right. It's the lowest it can be.
Yeah.
And you'd think, like, if that many people gathered, like, a week or two after, it would be a spike. But for months, there was no spike. Even in flu season. Like here, flu season went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. The elections, rallies, large gatherings. It looks the same in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 times. Because people just gather in thousands and thousands when they
Right,
have
but you'd
rallies.
think the first election cycle you would change it the next time.
Yeah.
পাচ্ছ
হ্যাঁ দিদি
মাথা ঠান্ডা করে ভোটটা করো তারপরে বিচার আমরা করবো
একদম
অ্যারেস্ট করাবো সব করা সিআরপিএফকে ডেড বডিগুলো এখন রেখে দাও ডেড বডিগুলো নিয়ে র্যালি হবে আজকে পরিবারগুলোকে বলবে কেউ ডেড বডি নেবে না
Like, are you trying to get everybody sick?
Yeah, because those bodies still have the disease.
ये हमारी जो परंपरा है, हमारे जो प्रोटोकॉल है, उसके बहुत खिलाफ हो रहा है कि कोई मुख्यमंत्री ऐसी इन हाउस मीटिंग को लाइव टेलीकास्ट करे।
Yeah, everybody has to come together.
ये उचित नहीं है। ये हमने हमेशा संयम पालन
But
करना
even,
चाहिए।
like, work together.
अगर सर मेरी तरफ से कोई गुस्ताखी हुई है, मैंने कुछ कठोर बोल दिया, मेरे आचरण में कोई गलती है तो उसके लिए मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूँ। लेकिन अभी तक जितने आज पॉल साहब की जो प्रेजेंटेशन थी वो भी बहुत अच्छी थी और उसके हिसाब से जो भी हमें निर्देश दिए गए हैं उन निर्देशों का हम पालन करेंगे।
You have to get through this virus together.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would be so bad if you had to postpone elections for a year?
Right.
Get through the pandemic, save the people first.
And then go to elections. Deal with the person you have after coronavirus is lower.
Yeah. Yeah. Masks, vaccine, work from home. Like, do what you can because it's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Not only are the images disturbing, but the numbers are astronomical. Like, Yeah.
and the fact that a lot of the media, not only here, but we've seen media in other countries that are not only calling it the India strand or the India virus, but are putting it on Hindu festivals, that this is the reason for all these spikes. But when you look at the data, there's no spike for months after these festivals have happened or after the flu season.
Right.
Which I know here, the flu season, usually 30,000 people die every year from the flu.
Yeah.
But this year, I talked to the nurse at the doctor's office the other day, and she was like, we've had very few cases of people coming in with the flu because of the mask requirements, because of the social distancing requirements. People are not getting the flu, and
Not
that's
getting sick.
good. I mean, the pandemic on the other side, we're still working on that here. But the numbers in India are off the charts, and if you continue to go like this, you're going to be number one, and
It's
that's not
only
what you
gonna
want to
get
be
worse.
number one in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse. And the fact that you got from really below, like really low to number 2 is terrible in a way, because once you go to number 2, you have to like slowly drop down. You have to do the work. You have to wear a mask, and you have to do much more now that you've gotten to number 2 and now that the cases are higher.
Yeah. To go back down to not be that high is going to take a lot more effort
Because
than
it's
trying
harder.
to keep it.
Yeah, because it's harder to go down with the cases than go up. Once you stop wearing masks, the cases go up. But you have to start wearing your mask, start doing more, start social distancing more so that it goes down.
Yeah. You can't let the stuff go. The vaccine is only one thing to help prevent, and it's not 100%.
It's not a cure.
It's not a cure. You have to keep that social distancing, and you have to wear a mask. You step foot outside your house, you should have a mask on your face.
Yeah.
And Modi ji can only do so much. Bhagwan Ram can only save so many people. You have to be part of that process. You have to help. If you're going to these huge rallies, politics, oh my God, you could wait. You could do stuff virtually. There is no need to have huge political rallies and bring dead bodies that have virus.
That's just going to make it worse. And another thing is you have to meet whoever God you think is going to save you. You have to meet them halfway. You have to do the work. They're not going to save you. Neither is the vaccine.
No, the vaccine isn't 100%. And just because you have the vaccine, you can still be a carrier and give it to somebody else. We're seeing a spike in kids now here in the US because adults are thinking they got the vaccine, they don't have to wear their mask as much, and now they're carrying it and giving it to children. The whole reason the J.A.N family here has not gotten sick or been to the hospital, I tell you, last year before the shutdown, I was at the doctor's office with one of the 3 children every 2 to 3 weeks. Somebody was sick with fever, with stomach virus, with something. And my husband, he gets whatever the kids get. So if they get pneumonia, he gets pneumonia. Mm-hmm. And it's not a joke. Like, the doctor's office from October to April saw me at least 2 to 3 times a month with a sick child for months. And since the shutdown, since we've been keeping inside, social distancing, virtual school, and now we're able, at least for us, able to get the shot, keeping masks on. The kids don't go into stores when there's a lot of people. We limit how their outside access. Nobody in this house has had temperature, has had a cough, has had a runny nose,
Cold,
nothing.
flu,
Nothing. It works. My husband's had to work the entire time. So he's gone to work. People at his job have had the virus. They've had people pass away because of the virus. Mm-hmm. And they have protocols where you're not supposed to have meetings. Everything is supposed to be virtual. So he goes into his office and that's it. Like, if somebody comes to speak to him, they're in the hallway 6 feet away talking whatever they need to talk. Otherwise, phone calls, virtual meetings. There is no large gatherings. They do it all virtually. And they have had cases, not a lot. Mm-hmm. You can't help it, but you can help this huge spike. There has got to be a better way. And you have to be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem like that lady. Like the lady in the car that thought that she didn't have to wear a mask, that it was her husband. Okay, well, you guys live together, that's great. But you're outside of your house. So now you are affecting everybody. It's not just about you. And the politicians, this is where we need to go, because it is political rallies. If you look at the numbers, are when the hugest spikes are after these huge rallies. In the US it happened, and again in India it's happening now. You can't, don't bring dead bodies that have the virus on them to a rally to make a point.
Right, like I misinterpreted at that point, and I thought she was doing it to like help people
like,
understand that there are dead people and we need to start wearing more masks, but it's a political thing against Modi.
It was definitely against Modi ji. It was not to say like, this is devastating and we need to do better. This was like to point fingers at Modi ji, and that is not the way to do it. Yeah, you want to say, if you're doing it, it has to be more of a, I wouldn't bring dead bodies anyways, done. But it needs to be more of like how sad you are and what can we do to make this better. You can't be doing stuff like that. Like that, to win an election, like here they did, you know, mail-in ballots. And I think part of that, there was some fraud because of it, but there was not a huge spike because of the election itself, because people were mailing in their ballots. But the rallies before then, that is the problem. People are going in hundreds of thousands numbers to support whoever they want to be the next president, prime minister, governor, whatever. And
but right now the biggest problem is not
do it.
who's top. It's the problem of the coronavirus. Why you're not wearing a mask, if you're washing your hands or not. That's the biggest problem, not the elections.
Yeah. If the government, if these people that are running for election or that are elected already really cared about the people, the rallies would be canceled. The election would be postponed until the numbers are down and things. They need to work together. You can't have this guy smirking at Modi and saying like, when his city is one of the biggest cities that have the highest number of cases. This is not a joke. This is not a time to make fun of politicians because you don't agree with what they're doing. This is the time to get the job done. You need to get, you know, whatever you can do to get people vaccinated, get more oxygen tanks, get people to work together, and get these people that are on the streets that think it's not about them. Well, it is about everybody.
Yeah.
And the only way to get through this is if everybody works together. So hopefully this message, you share it with your friends and family, and hopefully it gets to some of the higher ups, because these rallies really need to stop. It's not about the festivals. You know, we saw Sadhguru's festival. They had seats separated. They asked people to wear a mask. I'm sure there was some cases. I can't say that there wasn't any cases from that. But these political rallies are spiking it immensely. And if you really are for the people, that needs to stop. So we hope India pulls it together. We pray for all those families that have been affected. And hopefully between Bhagwan Ram and Modi ji and you yourself helping out, hopefully India's numbers will come down and you will get through this.
Yeah.
And yeah, please share this message.